Service B. What up, Wholesale to Million family? Happy Wednesday. So I'm gonna jump on live because we're literally 2 days away from the 5K Masterclass. For those of you who just recently discovered wholesaling, I'm gonna share with you, man, what is the best way, in my opinion, what is the best way to make money in real estate in 2019, 2020, 2021, 2023, I don't care what year it is. The best way, in my opinion, to make money in real estate, especially if you start out with very poquito, very little money, and that is wholesaling. Not fix and flip, right? Not fix and flip. Do not do the whole fix and flip game. Dude, I tried the whole fix and flip game, man. I tried the whole fix and flip game for a couple years, and it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare for me, and it was a nightmare for a lot of people that I have talked to, okay? So I'm going to share with you wholesaling. What wholesaling is that all you're doing is you're going out to the market, you're going out there, you're finding and locating motivated seller. Motivated seller, which means these are people that are needing to sell their property, not wanting to sell, they're needing to sell their property, all right? There's a difference. When they want to sell, they want retail value or even more than market value, all right? Like when they just want to sell, they don't care if they sell it or not. When these people, they're needing to sell, which means they're in a situation where they need to sell the property fast for cash, for convenience, all right, for hassle-free. They don't want to pay realtor commissions. So there are sellers out there that needs to sell the properties, all right? And your job is to go out there and find and locate these motivated seller. That's what we call them in the real estate world. And we call them the motivated seller, which means they're motivated to sell their property for whatever reason it is, all right? Maybe the property could be sitting vacant for a long time now, all right? And they could inherit the property, all right? Maybe it's a tired landlord. They rent the property out. All right, they rent the property out and the renter destroy the property, or maybe they're just tired of being a landlord. It could be in pre-foreclosure. It could be in a short sale situation, right? It could be in a divorce situation. We actually just did a deal on a divorce situation. And the divorce situation, so basically one of them still live at the property. The other one has moved out already. They actually called us from our, we got the lead came from our PPC. The lead came from PPC. For those of you who don't know what PPC is pay-per-click. So they Google us up, call us. We locked the deal up in the contract for $425. There's a house on it plus 2 vacant lots. I normally don't do wholesale lots, but one property plus 2 lots. The lots kind of have utilities on them. So the lots each worth about 100, maybe probably 90K to 100K a piece. The house itself is probably worth about 575. We lock all three deal up in the contract for 425. All right, you guys. So they don't want to list the property. All right, they don't want to list the property with an agent. They don't want their whole family member or whoever it is to know that they're going through this divorce. They want it to be quick, right? They want it to be quick. They want to get the money. So basically these are people that are in situation where they're needing and willing to sell to you at a discount, all right? And the formula, the wholesaling house's formula is that it's ARV minus 30%, minus repair, minus whatever you want to make. That's the offer that you make to the seller. All right, that's the offer that you have to make to the seller. So there's a certain formula that you have to use to lock these property up on a contract. But the whole idea is there's people out there, right? And what you're doing is you really only target 5% of the people, 5% of the people that's out there. All right, you don't need no inventory. You don't need no cash in the bank. All right, you don't need no money. You don't need a boatload of money to start. Because what you're doing is you're going out there, you're finding and locating this motivated seller. And I teach you in my channel and other people's channel, they teach you how to go out there, find these motivated seller from the freeway to the payway, from the like cheap with no money to the one where you can actually use your money to leverage, so you don't have to put in, your time, as mean like door knocking, cold calling, and things like that. You can do direct mail. So what it is, so when you find when you locate these motivated seller, you negotiate with them, talk to them, lock the property up in the contract at a certain discount. It's like if you go to Starbucks and you buy this for like $5, and if you can so this is just an example. An example, if you go to Starbucks, this is $5 and you got it for 25 cents. Now you can sell it over to somebody for $1. Like somebody will pay you $1 for this since it's worth $5, if that makes sense. So this is in the real estate world, all right? And what you do is once you locate it, you negotiate, you lock the property up in a contract, and that contract is extremely important because that contract gives you equitable interest, all right? It gives you equitable interest into the property, which means you can buy the property or you can assign it to somebody else. That is the whole idea. The whole idea is lock it up on the contract. Now you have the rights to either move forward to buy the property or you can assign it, which means you can actually sell your position over to somebody else. All right, you can sell your position over to somebody else that has the money to buy the property, or So basically that's what you're doing. Once you lock it up in a contract, now you have equitable interest where you can have control to either move forward to buy it or to assign it over to somebody else. And that is the key. The key is once you tie it up in a contract for X amount of day, and I know some of you guys are gonna ask me, well, Khang, how about earnest money? You heard people talk about earnest money. Earnest money can be $1, $10, $100, as long as they're an exchange in money, right? As long as they're an exchange in money, that contract becomes legal, legit, right? So I mean, I've heard, I've interviewed people. You heard people that lock property up in a contract. They didn't put any earnest money down. They put zero. So the seller didn't say anything. They don't know about it. Like most seller that you deal with are not going to bring the whole earnest money up unless you do. All right, unless you bring it up. So once you tie it up on a contract, all right, now what you do is you go out there, you find a cash buyer. It has to be a cash transaction, all right, which means they can get private money or hard money. Doesn't matter where these buyers get their cash from, as long as they have cash to close on it. All right, as long as they have the cash to close on it. And let's just say you lock the property up in a contract with the seller for $100,000. That property is worth $200,000. Now you find somebody that's willing to pay you $110 for it, so you assign it over to them for $110. The difference between $100 and $110 is $10,000, and that is how much you make. I know for some of you, when you're starting out, this might sound confusing, but comment below and let me know if you have any questions. I want to jump on a quick live to deal with this with you, because when I first started, I was pushing away wholesaling and I was focused on fix and flip, and I got myself into like a bad situation, because you gotta understand, when you fix and flip, like you gotta be like first of all, you gotta go raise the money, which means you can get private money, hard money, or you can use your own cash. You actually buy the property, you're gonna fix the property up, and then you're gonna resell it. So now there's a lot of risk involved, all right? There's a lot of risk involved. So when I first started out, I started out fix and flip because I pushed away wholesaling, because to me it was like, hey, I want to get into the real estate game. It's to make money. I want to make the big money, right? The big money, not the 5,000, the 2,000, or the 10,000. I was like, well, you know what? It's going to take me forever to get to that $1 million or whatever that I want, right? So I push away wholesaling, because when people talk about fix and flip, they're like, oh, you make 20,000, you make 30, 50, 100,000 on a flip deal, and I get excited about it. So I went into the whole fix and flip game because I didn't know that you can actually scale the wholesaling houses like much faster, to me much faster, and as large and as big as you want. All right, because right now we're doing about $250, right? $250 a month, virtually wholesale. We don't see the seller, we don't see the property, we don't need to see the buyer. We're in a couple of different markets all across the US. All right, you guys, when you fix and flip, you got to understand that you got to be on top of your numbers. Your numbers has to be you got to be really good with your numbers. All right, you got to go raise the money. All right, now you got to connect with private money or hard money, or you can use your own cash. Okay, and you have to get connection with banks. All right, because some bank do loan on a fix and flip, all right? Connection with banks. And there's a time schedule that you got to stay on, man. When you borrow these money, they're not cheap, right? Some of them can be 8%, 10%, 12, 15%, all right? Private hard money, it depends. But the thing is, with the whole fix and flip, you got to understand is that let's just say when you flip 3 to 4 property, imagine how much money you tied up. Imagine how much money you tied up. All right? As a wholesaler, I can tie up 20 property. I can tie up 20 property, putting maybe $100 bucks, all right? Putting up $100 to tie each property up on a contract. I can do that. I can tie up 20 property. And let's just say the market take a shift the next day. I wake up the next day, market went down 30%. So, which means all of my property that I tied up on the contract now doesn't make sense, right? All the number doesn't make sense now. Guess what I do? I go back to the seller, I renegotiate for a lower price than what the market is worth today, right? I'm just giving you an example, because that's what happened in 2008. And that's why a lot of people that were playing the fix and flip game got into a huge amount of trouble. Because you got to understand, man, like you got to have liquid cash in case of an emergency happen. You got to have liquid cash to constantly paying for that mortgage on that property. If that makes sense. So I caught myself in a bad situation. I was doing 4 to 5 flips, and it caught myself in a bad situation. I got like $1 million or 1.5 million tied up in all of these property, right? So to me, I don't play the fix and flip game anymore, man. I was waking up 5 o'clock in the morning, going to Home Depot, dealing with contractor, subcontractor. You see, when you fix and flip, you got to learn the construction side as well. You got to learn the construction side. You got to learn all the materials, the price of the materials. Like, you got to learn the construction side. You got to know what stage go first, right? So with wholesaling, it's much more similar than the whole fix and flip game and less risk. Like, to me, if you do it right, as long as you contract, if you do it right on your contract, there's really no risk in wholesaling. No risk. Because the worst case is all you do, worst case is you lose your earnest money. And your earnest money could be $1, could be $10, could be $100, right? But imagine if you fix and flip and the market take a shift. Or maybe you're fix and flip, and then when you go in, you do the rehab, you open up the wall, and then all of a sudden a bunch more. Dude, when I was doing the fix and flip, man, the number was never right. My construction cost was always more, never less. My time, I'm saying I'm going to be done in a month, it ended up to be 2 months, 3 months. And my profit gets squeezed. Like to me, if you fix and flip, man, if you do 1 or 2 project at a time or a year, which is fine. But when you really try to scale up to the 6-figure a month, right? Which means you gotta flip like 4 to 5 properties a month. Right, dude, it's not easy, man. It takes a tremendous amount of work, and it's hard for you to do it virtually. When you fix and flip, when you do it virtually, now you're trusting. Now you got to get a partner, and you got to trust your partner extremely, right? You got to trust them you got to trust them so much, right? Because you're away from states. They manage the constructions, right? They manage the constructions. So, dude, like to me, man, the whole flip game, man, is extremely hard to scale, and also too is the time freedom. I have not yet met somebody in person that fix and flip that only works a few hours a day, maybe 1 or 2 hours a day. I have not yet met. I have not met. Dude, and I go to mastermind where I pay $20,000 to go to these mastermind, and some of these guys are playa. They do 100 flips a year. All right? They do 100 flips a year. And I tell you, man, they work a lot. They work a lot, man. So, in this video, man, I'm sharing with you is if you just discover real estate and you're debating, should I wholesale, should I fix and flip, like what should I do? I'm telling you, man, stay focused, pick one that you want to go down. Like, to me, hands down, wholesaling. Wholesaling is the easiest, quickest way. It's not get rich overnight. Listen, it's not a get rich overnight. But if you're starting out with very little capital, it's the easiest to learn, right? Easiest to learn, and the most, like the least amount of risk, all right, involved. All you do, you tie your property up in a contract. Now you go find a buyer that's willing to pay you more for it. You just assign it over to them, and then you get paid in between. So what you do is, after wholesaling, after you made the money in wholesaling, then what you do is you take that money and you buy rental property to build up passive income. And that's what my wife and I are doing, right? Right now, we're just stacking the cash, wholesale, stack. Not sure if I'm even live, man. But what's nice about wholesaling is that you can have $100 in the bank. You can have $100 in the bank account, and you can go out and tie a piece of property that's worth $500,000 up under contract. That's the beauty about wholesaling. All right. You can tie. You can have $100 in the bank account, and you can go out there and find a motivated seller and tie a piece of property up in a contract that's worth $500,000, and then be able to assign that contract over to somebody else that's going to pay you maybe $50,000 more, $60,000 more, $20,000 more. But let me see if you guys have any questions. Frey, what is the difference between the seller script and the step-by-step business program? Okay, man. So the King Kong seller script package included all the contract, all right, and it includes 2 parts to the seller script. And so in the King Kong seller script package, all that is I'm sharing with you exactly how to talk to the seller, and how to lock property up in the contract, how to negotiate, how to control the phone call. All right, how to make the offer all over the phone and lock these property up on the contract all over the phone. The King Kong seller script is what got us to scale our business up to where it is today. Because I can use the King Kong seller script and train any VA up. They don't need to know anything about real estate. I use the script to train the team up, and they follow the script, and they lock property up on the contract. And the King Kong seller script is exactly how I talk to the seller, you guys. I'm sharing with you, like in the business, that is the secret to the business. The King Kong seller script is the secret to locking these property up on a contract and doing it virtually. The step-by-step does not include the King Kong seller script. The step-by-step, all I'm sharing with you is step-by-step exactly how to do it. Step number 1, do this. Step number 2, do this. Starting you from zero, all right? Starting you from zero and helping you to get your first wholesale deal. That's it. It does not include the script, but it does have all the contract. All right? It does have all the contract. And and I have people ask me about the 5K Masterclass. The 5K Masterclass, man, is for the first 20 people. And right now, we're literally 2 days away, man. It starts June 1st, and we're going to be together for the next 12 months. We meet on the 1st of every single month, and it's all done virtually. All right, it's going to be on a Zoom call. And the 5K Masterclass is for me to give you all the tools, all the connections, all right, strategies, the tips, whatever that is that I need to help you to get you from where you are to where you want to be, man. So within that 12-month period, we are going to be together for 12 months straight in a row. We're going to be together for 12 months straight in a row. We're going to dissect what's going on in your business. What's your goal? Whether you're a beginner or maybe you're already doing some deals, maybe you're making $30,000 a month or $40,000 a month, whatever that is. I'm going to share with you how to put a team together so you can scale it up to the 6-figure. All right? I'm going to help you dissect and figure out your business, because a lot of times what it is you don't know what you don't know. And when you look at, you know what I mean? It's like when you look at your own, it's like when you're the one who looking at it, You might not see there's a problem or there's an issue or something that needs to be fixed. Maybe it just needs to be a little tweak, right? But you don't know that because you can't see that, and you cannot do the same thing over and over and over again and expect the different results. What I'm going to do is I'm going to jump in and I'm going to look at what's going on, and I'm going to share with you, exactly give you clear action plan, what to do within that 30 days. We come back again, we meet again later, right? 30 days later, we figure out what's going on, what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. Why, is your phone ringing? Are you getting the results? Are you getting your people to call you, like, what's going on? And then we tweak it again, and then you go back for 30 days, you implement it, and then we come back again. I mean, I cannot see how within that 12-month period, if you're a massive action taker, like you're really going to implement and take the actions that I'm going to give you, I really can't see why within that 12 months you cannot get your investment back. Dude, you just need one deal. You can get the 5K investment back. And I give you all the tools, the connections, the strategies, right? The tips, like whatever it is that I need to share with you. There's no holding back. And you can use that over and over again. And maybe for some of you, you want to do it virtually, right? You want to take your business to virtual. I'll share with you how to put a team in place, man. How to put a team in place and do it like I do. Because that's all I do is virtual. I don't see seller, I don't see property, I don't see the buyer. I'm able to close all these deals, man, without ever seeing them. And maybe you're even in the wrong market, but you don't even know you're in the wrong market. Maybe you're in a market that is too competitive, too hot, too muy caliente, right? Too muy caliente. So we're going to figure out what's going on with your market, and then maybe we have to pull you out of market, and then we have to put you into a completely different market. All right? Put you in a completely different market, and that's what I did with John. John is my first student. He's in New York. New York is too muy caliente. Price is too high. So we took him out of that market. I put him in another market where there's a cash buyer that I have connection with that does over 100 deals a year. So now he's in that market. And that's how he closed his first deal. Now he got like 3 or more property up on the contract. So a lot of times you're doing the same thing and you just expect the different results. And you cannot get a different results by doing the same thing, man. Right? And a lot of time you just don't know what you just don't know, man. And the 5K Masterclass is not for everybody. It's really not for everybody. It's only for those that say, hey, Khang, dude, this is what I'm missing, man. I need clear action plan. I have no problem of taking action. I have no problem of putting in the work. I just don't want my time to go to waste by doing the wrong thing. I want to know, right? Like, I want to know, man. I want to know exactly what I need to do, and I'm just going to go take action on it. I'm sick and tired of wasting time trying to figure this out. And that's what the 5K Masterclass is for. It's for those of you who's in that positions that said, Khang, I don't want to waste any more time, man. I'm ready to freaking rock and roll, man. It's halfway through the years. I'm tired of trying to figure this thing out. I'm just ready to freaking rock and roll. Does the King Kong script package access to your Facebook as well? Yes, because I'm ready to go to the next level and I am pumped. Hell yeah, man. The King Kong seller script, when you get it, right, when you pay for it, you actually it'll send you an email with the products right away, all right? And then you get access to the private Facebook group as well. Yes, man. Yes, yes, yes. And dude, for those of you who is ready and committed, all right, who's ready and committed to join me on the 5K Masterclass, then email your full name to wholesale to millions with an S, wholesale to millions at gmail.com with your full name. The subject is 5K Masterclass and said, I'm ready and I'm committed. We're 2 days away. I'm taking on 20 people right now to ready freaking rock and roll, man. So if you're ready to take your life and your business to a completely different planet, then let's rock and roll. Any questions, man? But I'm telling you, like, those of you who are starting out, man, who are debating, you don't know which path to go down. I'm telling you, man, wholesaling is probably the most easiest for you to learn. The least amount of risk. All right, the least amount of risk. the easiest to learn, the one that doesn't require a boatload of money to start, and the one that you can scale up the quickest. You can scale up the quickest, dude, is wholesaling. All you need to know is, man, once you know the process, you will know that this business is actually very simple. It's not easy, but it's very simple. All you do is you tying a property up on a contract at a discount. Now you have X amount of days. The X amount of days, whatever days that you're able to agree with the seller on, it could be 30 days, it could be 60 days, it could be 90 days. And all you're doing is that you just need to go out there, you find a buyer. I'll show you exactly how to do it, man, from A to the Z. From the A to the Z, one step, exactly how to do this business, man. Cause the thing is, I'm sharing that with you because I was in your position, man. I was in your position when I first started. I didn't know which path to go down. Should I fix and flip? Should I buy and keep it as a rental? Like, should I wholesale? Like, there's so many things. Like, which path should I go down? I'm sharing with you right now, man. The path that you need to stay focused on is wholesaling. Don't think about being a landlord. You don't have the money yet to be the landlord. All right? Don't get into the whole landlord, man. I mean, that is the ultimate goal. Don't get me wrong, that's the ultimate goal. But not yet, man. Build your cash, build up your money, stack your cash, and then go and put into being a landlord. And then the whole fix and flip game, man, dude, like you think, like the whole fix and flip game sounds fun, right? The whole fix and flip game, it sounds fun, it sounds exciting because you see people on HGTV and all that. Psst. Dude, when you get into it, when you get into the game, you will know what I mean, man. Like, it only get fun and excited for a little bit, then the drama will start. When you only focus on doing one flip a year, or two flip a year, or three flip a year, that's fine. But I'm saying for those that really want to scale up, those that have the ambitions to freaking say, hey, Khang, I want to do 6-figure a month, man. I want to do 6-figure a month. I'm telling you, man, the whole fix and flip game, it's not the game you want to play. Dude, like if you want the time freedom and the money, listen to me, I'm shaking you right now. Because when I first started, nobody, like I couldn't find anybody to tell me this. If you want the time freedom and you want the money with barely any risk, wholesaling is the way to go. I don't want to see you make the mistake that I did, man. I almost lost everything that I've worked hard for, my wife and I, for like 10 to 12 years. Almost lost everything. You got to understand, man, the whole fix and flip game, one mistake wipe you out, man. One mistake could wipe you out, man. You wake up the next day, the market take a shift, wipe you out, man. If you have no cash reserve, like you gotta have cash reserve if you want to play the fix and flip game. Which mean the next day if the market take a tank, you don't care. Because you have the reserve to constantly paying for the mortgage. Right? Because you're borrowing the money. Or maybe you use your own cash. Those of you who start out, you have your own cash. So now all your money is tied up in that one property. But dude, when you have liquid cash, you can take that cash and freaking market and turn that cash. Dude, when you know how to wholesale, you can turn that cash like this, man. I'm telling you, man. I was struggling trying to scale my business to a 6-figure when I was fix and flipping. And only work 2 or 3 hours a day. Dude, I was working from 5 a.m., man. I started out from 5 a.m. Okay, 5 a.m. until and my day didn't end until like 10, 11 or so, right? At night, I was still dealing with contractor. You got to go to the city to get permit, deal with contractor, deal with inspections and all that. And then when you fix the property up, you got to put it on the market for a retail buyer. Retail buyer comes in, it takes you 30 to 45 days. Normally it's 45 to 60 days for closing. They got to get bank loan, they send inspector through it, they pick out this and this, you got to fix this, you got to fix that. Dude, so the whole fix and flip game, it's really a 3 to 4 to 5 months. Like you get your money back. If it's a heavy flip, if it's just a cosmetic, it's still gonna be at least a 2 to 3 months flip, right? But the wholesaling, man, dude, I closed a deal, made over 6-figure within 7 days. 7 days, man. 7 days, 100 and some thousand on one wholesale deal. And my money that I got into it, $500. Earnest money. $500 turned into $130-some-thousand. Closing 7 days. I have never done that when I was fixing flipping the house, man. Never. So anyways, that's all I want to share with you guys. But I got to rock and roll, man. The 5K Masterclass, those of you who want to spend the next 12 months with me, it's not for everybody. It's for the one that said, Khang, I am ready. I'm committed, man. Show me what you got. I'm an action taker. I just sick and tired of trying to figure this business out, man. I'm just ready to really take my business, my life to the next level. I'm ready to scale up, man. I'm done with trying to figure this out. Then email me your full name over to wholesaletomillions@gmail.com. We're 2 days away, man. 2 days away and we're done, dude. Starting June 1st. It's going to start June 1st. All right, it's going to start June 1st. Khang is suited and booted. We're starting June 1st, man. Literally 2 days away from the 5K Masterclass. Those of you who've already signed up, I'm so freaking pumped. And I'm so excited for you because you don't know what I got in store for you. And your life is about to change just like that. Thank you so much, you guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. And remember, man, this game requires a tremendous amount of work. But I promise you that it's going to be worth it, right? That's going to be worth it. And things don't happen overnight. Listen to me. Things don't happen overnight. It happens over time. And it doesn't matter where you are today or who you are today. It does not matter. Maybe you have failed at multiple times. Maybe you have failed at multiple business. Maybe you have been lost. Maybe you have been cheated on, with business partner. Maybe, or you made a bunch of mistakes already. So you put yourself in a bad situation. But dude, you have the control to change your life. Doesn't matter who you are today or where you are today. Maybe you're living in your parents' basement. Some of you, maybe you're sleeping in your car, right? You're homeless. Dude, it does not matter. What matters is who you become tomorrow. What's worse is you continue to stay there. That's no bueno. All right? No bueno. Dude, I was being called a loser, that I was never going to be successful, that I was never going to I was never going to accomplish anything in life cuz I was high school dropout, living in a little shack behind a mobile home park with my wife. So screw the naysayer. And those haters, those are the ones that want to pull you down and keep you where you are. Shake it freaking off. Shake it off. And dude, show them